you thinking about moving to Coconut Grove? Or do you have so much money you could live anywhere in the world? This video, we're going to share with you why Coconut Grove is the #1 choice for the wealthiest buyers in the world. People move to Coconut Grove for the outdoor living, where the walkability, everything looks different. There's a lot of greenery, there's a lot of water, there's a mix of condos and homes. The diversity's great, there's so many different activities. It's amazing. Our team has looked at trends and everything over the last 4 years. So we know all the things that only locals know. We've had to do the research for all our clients, and we're gonna share that with you. In this video, we're gonna break it down in 5 different parts. The first part is lifestyle. The second part is pros and cons. The third part is cost of living. Number 4, the future of Coconut Grove. And number 5 is my favorite section, the Amits rating. I'm gonna rate multiple different areas of Coconut Grove to hopefully give you a better idea to see if Coconut Grove is perfect for you. So what's the perfect day in Coconut Grove? For me, is the walkability, that laid back vibe that you get from there. So I'd walk with my wife, we'd walk around, we'd go to Kennedy Park, we'd just chill there because the walk is amazing. Then as we walk, we'll see the regatta. We'll see all these amazing boats and yachts for sale around Coconut Grove. Next thing we'll do is maybe we'll play a little bit of tennis. We'll go to Grove Isle. They have these amazing clay court tennis courts. And if you're not that great in tennis, you may hit your ball in the water because the views are that close. After that, let's go to lunch. Let's go to Sushi Maki. Sushi Maki is sort of like fast food, Japanese food without the fast. It's fast, but it's amazing. And so we would go there. Then, because Coconut Grove is so amazing, we'd probably walk a little bit more. And then at night, we're gonna go to Bombay Darbar. Yes, I'm Indian, I eat Indian food, and it's actually very good food. Whether you're vegan, whether you're a carnivore, whatever you like to eat, Bombay Darbar is gonna be perfect for you. But since I mentioned veganism, there's an amazing restaurant called Planta Queen that has vegan food. So those would be the things that I would do on my perfect day and just not work, but I love working, so maybe throw in work as well. You actually feel a little cooler when you're in the Grove, you know? Not that I'm Lenny Kravitz or not that he's lived there. I'm far from it and he hasn't lived there. But LeBron James has, Sylvester Stallone has, a lot of people that have the most money in the world have lived there. So the exclusivity and privacy is second to none. Another thing about the Grove is, even though you're in Miami, you feel like you're not in Miami because it's such a laid back vibe that you get where the walkability, everything looks different. There's a lot of greenery, there's a lot of water, there's a mix of condos and homes. You're gonna see a ton of these 20, 30, 40, $50 million homes, but you're also gonna see condos that make it somewhat affordable to live there. So it's exclusive, but if you're starting to do well in life and you save up for a bit, you can probably make Coconut Grove your home too. So what are the pros and cons of living in Coconut Grove? There are a lot of pros. The luxury real estate is amazing there. That laid back vibe is amazing. So many nice restaurants, nice shopping, and you're pretty close to everything. You're very close to the airport, to South Beach, to downtown, to Coral Gables, to Brickell, so many different places. So the location is amazing. The cons, it's extremely, extremely expensive to live there. Another con is a lot of the area of Coconut Grove is historical. So if you happen to buy the wrong home and you want to update it and you haven't done your homework, that's why you reach out to us, you may not be able to do anything to it. You may be stuck with that. Another thing is the parking sort of sucks. You have to think of where to park. You have to pay to park. There are not that many places in Coconut Grove where you can just not think about preparing for your destination and parking wherever you want. You have to figure it out. So you have to park, you have to walk, and if you park in the wrong place, you're gonna get towed. Most of the people that live in Coconut Grove like living and doing everything in Coconut Grove. They feel like it's their basic city. Even though Coconut Grove isn't technically a city, it's a place where a lot of people like to work, play, and do everything in. So the location is very good or it's bad depending on what you're looking for. So those are just some of the cons. There are quite a bit more, but the pros definitely outweigh the cons if you have a lot of money. So it seems like you're liking Coconut Grove. If you want to know everything, I mean everything about Coconut Grove, make sure to click on the link in the description. We've spent hundreds and thousands of hours getting that information for you, and all you got to do is just click on that link. It's that easy. One of the best things about Coconut Grove are the architectural features. You're gonna see so many different types of homes. And one of the things about Coconut Grove, because it's laid back and there's that vibe, it makes architects, it seems like, go crazy. They just use their best creations and try it in the Grove. You know, if they can pick anywhere in South Florida to do it, they're gonna do it in the Grove, and they're gonna have their most creative ideas there. So you're gonna see modern stuff, you're gonna see basic stuff, and you're gonna see everything in between. And some of the homes are gonna be, you know, $50 million, $100 million. So you're gonna see a mix of everything. For Coconut Grove, the privacy and security, it's good, but it's not great. There are plenty of areas that have gated communities. It's like a mix of condos, single family homes, townhomes, and stuff. When I grew up, since I lived in Miami since I was 4 years old, lots of parts of Coconut Grove used to be called, quote unquote, the ghetto. Those areas, Grand Avenue and many other areas, were totally like drug infested areas, and they weren't great. So even though these areas are gentrified, which there's good and bad with that, the security isn't always great in some of the areas. There are, you know, if you have a nice single family home, it's not gonna be in a gated community for the most part. There are some areas that have that, but it's usually you're gonna have a gate around your home. There are very expensive, exclusive, gated community, single family home areas, but that's the exception to the rule. You don't see that much. So security is okay, it's not great. If you want it to be great, you can make it great in the Grove, because like I said, LeBron lived there and Sylvester Stallone lived there, and they definitely want a lot of privacy, but it's not the most secure place. So how are the schools in Coconut Grove? There are many great schools in Coconut Grove. One of the best actually in the country is Ransom Everglades, and they start from grade 6 to high school. So if you need an elementary school, there are other elementary schools in Coconut Grove that are good. But for the most part, Coconut Grove has hit or miss schools. There are a lot of good ones, but there are some bad ones. So you'd probably need to speak with a friend or a real estate agent to direct you to the right places to go to check on the schools. Because Ransom is amazing, but one of the things about Ransom is it's private. It's super expensive. It's probably gonna be $40,000, $50,000 a year, more than some colleges. So you need to have the budget to get great education in Coconut Grove. So how's the weather in Coconut Grove? It's actually better than most parts of Miami. Because you're right by the water, the temperature is gonna dip a little bit, so it's gonna be a little cooler, you're gonna feel a breeze. For the most part, the weather is great in Ransom, but just like all areas of South Florida, during some months of summer, it's not good. It's gonna rain every day. It's gonna be very humid. There are gonna be mosquitoes. There's gonna be a lot of things that make you question whether you should have moved to Miami or not. But all the other months of the year are gonna be exceptional, and you're gonna forget those summer months. So a lot of people that are moving to Coconut Grove from out of state ask us about a couple things. They ask about hurricanes, and they ask us about flood zone. So hurricanes, I'll tell you, I've lived in Miami since I was 4 years old, so 51 years, and I've dealt with 3 hurricanes. Only one was really bad. Every year you're gonna get hurricane warnings, but usually they don't hit. One of the things about Coconut Grove, since the properties are luxury properties, almost all of them are gonna have impact windows, doors, accordion shutters, or hurricane shutters. So you're gonna be protected pretty well. As far as flood zones, there are a lot of areas that are flood zones, but it's funny because one of the highest parts of South Florida, if I'm not mistaken, is actually in Coconut Grove. So you're gonna see a mix of properties that are lower, like flood level, and then you're going to see properties that are much higher. So it would really make sense to speak to an expert to get the right information about a property that you're interested in. So what's the cost of living for real estate in Coconut Grove? So I'm doing a search right now. Coconut Grove has a lot of condos and townhomes for sale and some single family homes. So I'm doing a search in all different price ranges, and there's 65 homes for sale currently. Just to give you an idea, there's about 21,000 people that live in Coconut Grove. And so out of these 65 properties, let's see what pops up. I'm gonna go from the least expensive to the most expensive. So the least expensive is a condo. It is 2920 Southwest 28th Terrace, number 407. So this is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It's 702 square feet. It's built in 1972. Compass has the listing, which is always good. It's $479,000, built in 1972. And let's take a look at some of the photos. It's in a place called Grove's Edge. It looks like it's built in 1972, maybe even in the 60s. The property is not updated. It's funny when I say update. Sometimes I'll ask, I remember I had this customer about a year ago, and I asked about the property. I said, is it updated? They said, yeah, it was updated. I went to the house, and they told me eventually after I asked questions, when was it updated? Oh, it was updated in the 80s. So updated means many different things to many different people. So this looks updated in maybe the 80s or 90s. So, okay, so that's the least expensive property for $479 for 700 square feet with a view of a building. And so let's look at the most expensive one. So the most expensive one is for $24.99 million. This one, let's see if this is a house or a single family home. It's a single family home. It's in a place called the Moorings. This is a gated community, if I'm not mistaken. It is 3467 North Moorings Way. Like I said, $24.99 million. This is 6 bedrooms, 6.5 baths. 6 bedrooms, 6 baths with a half bath. It's 6268 square feet. It says the effective year built was 1929, but it was probably updated. Let me see. It's been restored, and let's take a look at some of the photos. You know, as I go through the photos and I look at it, one of the things, I know this doesn't really relate to this that much. The first photo really sucks, and the rest of the photos are great. And if you're going to sell your home and you have the first photo that sucks, you're probably not going to sell your property for as much, and it'll probably take you longer. You're going to lose a ton of money for that. So the photos are all great except a few of them. So the property is very nice. It has a swimming pool. You could actually see some water, which is pretty far away, but definitely a unique home that it's screaming Coconut Grove all over the place. It's just very different, a different vibe. So one of the things people ask is like, so what is like the average type of home? What would the average home sell for? So out of these 65 properties, average, I guess, I'll go to like number 33, whatever. That was Tony Dorsett. Number 33, another Compass listing. We got all the listings. So this one is for $2.7 million. It is let's see, is it a single family home? It's a tri-level villa. Okay, so like a townhouse. It's 5 bedroom, 5 baths, 3493 square feet under AC, built in 1981. Has a 2-car garage, and it's sort of updated. It is updated. It seems like actually a great deal for the money in Coconut Grove. let me see if there's an HOA fee on this. Let me go through some more of the photos so you can get a better idea of the place. It's a beautiful place. Again, the first photo is not that great, but the rest of the property looks amazing. And there's water views that you can get to. Not water views from the place, but water views you can get to. And let's check out the HOA fee. The HOA fee isn't that bad. This is paid every 3 months and it's $46.06. It's not great, but a little bit over $1,500 a month is the HOA fee. So that gives you an idea, if that's not that bad, how expensive HOA fees are. So Coconut Grove has a lot of gated communities, condos, single family homes, places. And for those of you that have never seen high HOA fees, get ready. You're gonna see a bunch of them. And so why do they have such high HOA fees? There are a few reasons. Because one of the components of HOA fees for condos is hurricane insurance for the building, and our hurricane insurance is pretty high here, it impacts the HOA fees a lot. Also because it's a luxurious area and there are a lot of amenities in these luxury buildings, that adds to it a lot. So the HOA fees are very high, but at the end of the day, if you, and I don't mean to say this in a bad way because I don't live in Coconut Grove, I probably can't afford to live in Coconut Grove. You better have enough money to live in Coconut Grove. If it's a place where you're not sure if you can afford it or not, maybe go to Pinecrest or Coral Gables or somewhere surrounding areas. So there are two things that most people don't know when they're moving to Miami. They have this pie in the sky mentality, how amazing it is to live in Miami. And for the most part, it is. But there are two things that people get shocked at when they see. One is homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance is gonna be significantly more than you expect it to be. You know, if you have a single family home, it's probably gonna be 15, 20, 30 grand a year. So think about spending, you know, $1,200 to $2,500 a month just in homeowners insurance. Obviously, if you're paying cash, you don't have to, but I would well recommend doing that. Another thing are property taxes. Property taxes are just slightly less than 2% of the property's value. So if you buy a property for $5 million in Coconut Grove, the odds are your taxes are gonna be around 90 grand, give or take. So those are two things that most people don't know about. So what does the future of Coconut Grove hold? There are many things that are happening in Coconut Grove, and we've seen a lot of this over the last few years. One of the things, good and bad, is gentrification. We're seeing a lot of the areas that in my childhood were the ghetto are now some of the most expensive parts of Miami. So it's good that people are able to cash out and get money for their homes, but it's bad that they get relocated. So you're seeing that more and more. It's happening more and more. You're seeing all these historical places in the Grove. They're still there, but just not that far away from them, they're getting torn down, and you're seeing these luxury townhomes being built. You're seeing that more and more and more. So you're seeing all these different properties being built. So some people that haven't been to the Grove in a while, when they go there now, they think it's a little bit different than, you know, when they used to go. With the Grove, the future is very, very good. A lot of people are moving there, property values are going up, and because there's such limited land, prices are going up like crazy. So this is my favorite part, Amits Ratings. Hopefully it becomes your favorite part of the video too. So number one, daily life and vibe. For the Grove, it's a 10 out of a 10. So the overall energy of the neighborhood is amazing. You know, I'm not cool. You can tell I'm not cool, but when I go there, I'm pretty cool. So that'll be the same for you. And if you're cool, you're gonna be exceptionally cool. The walkability is great. You're gonna see all these cool mansions, these old, unique homes, the greenery, the regatta, all these yachts. It's amazing. The diversity is great. There's so many different activities. It's amazing. Okay, so number two, location and prestige. This one I have to think about because the Prestige is actually like a 10, but the location is probably like a 6 for me. So I'd give it a 7.5. I don't know if I'm allowed to use halves, but we'll make it 7.5. So proximity to key areas, it's great, close to downtown, the airport, it's close to everything. So it's amazing. Accessibility to airports is amazing. The neighborhood's reputation is great. LeBron lived here, Sylvester Stallone lived here, a bunch of other people lived here as well. But the location, what I don't like about the location is it's such a small area, and because of that, parking is difficult. And I don't know if that's really location, but I'm gonna make it location. Number 3, waterfront living and views. Probably a 9 out of a 10, because the views are amazing from so many parts of Coconut Grove. Whether you're in a luxury condo, whether you're in a single family home, the views are really nice. Whether it's a park you're seeing, whether it's waterfront areas, it's very, very nice. But there are areas that, are gentrified that the views aren't that great. So it's not always good there. Access to parks is great. The walkability is amazing. So it's everything. You can walk, you can go on walks and you'll be in a park really quickly. Water activities, if you have a yacht, you'll be great. It's I guess it's basically Miami's sort of sailing capital, which is the Grove, so it's amazing there. Amenities and lifestyle, it's an 8. It's pretty high. There's a lot of different things to do, and one of the best things about it is if you live in a luxury building or a luxury homeowners association, you're probably gonna find them just on location. So it's gonna be really good there's so many places in the Grove where on the site they have these things, so you don't have to go anywhere. Shopping and dining is pretty cool. You have Coco Walk and some of these other really cool like mom and pop places that are gonna be very unique compared to other parts of Miami. Entertainment, lifestyle, pretty cool. Whether you're young, you're college age, older, or much older, you're gonna find a lot of things to do. Privacy and security. What would I say for that? Privacy and security, probably a 6. It could be a 10 in some areas, and it could be like a 2 in other areas. Some parts of Coconut Grove, there used to be a lot of homeless there. No, you don't really see that so much, but because of the gentrification, and there still are quite a few areas of Coconut Grove where people bought the properties for like 30, 40 grand that are worth 900,000 to $1 million now. So they don't have the income, and unfortunately, because of that, a lot of people will rob those areas. But then if you see some of these ultra luxury HOAs, homeowners associations, or condo buildings, the security is top notch. One of the things also about privacy and security is like walkability when you're walking. When you're walking, it's gonna be quiet for the most part. You're gonna feel very at peace while you're walking the Grove. One of the nicest areas of Miami is Coconut Grove because of the walkability and these quiet walks. Architectural features. This is a tough one because some of the architectural features are really, really good. And seems like the theme of Coconut Grove. Some of the things about Coconut Grove are amazing and some things actually suck. So architectural features, I'd say 6.5. The main reason is you're gonna see all these cool different homes and all these modern, these older ones, but the problem is if you buy the wrong one, the house is gonna be not functional. And some of them are historic, so you won't be able to do anything about it. So you're gonna need to reach out to a professional, whether it's a real estate agent, an architect, or someone to let you know if this is the right home or the wrong home. So it's a little bit tricky in that area. Community engagement and local interaction. This is top notch with Coconut Grove, probably a 10 out of a 10. Most people, when they're walking, they know each other. There's so many different community events. There's so many different things that people are part of, where you always feel like you know the person next door to you or many, many doors away from you. Cost of living in real estate. This is probably a 1. The cost of living is very, very high in Coconut Grove. It's one of the most expensive areas in South Florida. The real estate is exceptionally high. And when I went over the list of properties that were available, those were cheaper than what you usually see. If you're looking to buy a home, if it's a single family home, you're gonna be in the multi millions if it's a decent size home. So it's gonna be very, very expensive. And as prices go up, as I mentioned before, the taxes are very high and your homeowner's insurance is very high. If you live in a condo, the HOA fees are gonna be ridiculous. So real estate prices are very expensive and everything else that comes along with it is very expensive. What people don't realize is, because when someone is renting a place and it's a restaurant or a store or a gas station, because they're paying higher rent, their prices have to be much higher. So that's gonna basically make everything more expensive in Coconut Grove. Green space and outdoor living, 10 out of 10. People move to Coconut Grove for the outdoor living, for the walkability, for seeing all these beautiful things and feeling a little cooler with that laid back vibe. Climate resilience, probably a 5. Some areas of the Grove are definitely in flood zones. You're on the water. So when there's a hurricane, although your property may be safe, you're gonna get evacuated out of your home many, many times. It's sort of a pain in the ass to live there sometimes. It's not good. So you're gonna have to get out of there. Most of the time it's great, but sometimes it's gonna suck. So that gives us a total of 73 points for Coconut Grove for Amit's rating. It's in second place to Pinecrest at 82, but higher than Fisher Island at 64 and South Miami at 60. I've been going to Coconut Grove since I was 17 years old. If you're like most people living in Miami, you always get a friend or relative from outside the state asking you, hey, I'm on vacation, Amit. Where should I go? What should I do? I'm taking my wife out to eat, or I'm gonna go out for a date. My kids wanna see some Instagrammable places. If you wanna be a total superstar to them, click on the link in the description. We've spent many, many, many years making you a hero. So make sure to click on that link. You'll be so happy you did. And if you like this video and you want to watch other videos, make sure to subscribe. You'll know before anyone else does.